Identifying future leaders within an organization begins right from the interviewing stage. And in this channel today, we are going to be discussing about how effective interviewing is very key when it comes to identifying future leaders. My name is Mary Amondo, in charge of training and career advisory services here at Corporate Staffing. And I'm joined by our training and development manager, who will be helping us to expound more on this subject. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Godfrey. Nice to have you.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Great. Interviewing is an area that I'm very passionate about, especially when it comes to preparing candidates to just get it right in the interview room. But today we'll be focusing more on hiring managers or recruiters. Why is it important for them to get it right from the interviewing moment, just to get the right candidate who has the potential leadership or to take a potential leadership role within the organization? So the question is, why is effective interviewing very crucial when identifying potential future leaders within an organization?
Thank you so much, Mary. Indeed, as you've rightfully mentioned, that when it comes to interviewing future leaders, it's critical that you don't get it wrong from the very beginning, because if you look at the cost of getting it wrong, it's just huge. You would bring in someone in an organization and they mess up with the company culture, the company way of doing things, until you wonder, why did we bring on board this person? How did we get ourselves into this mess? Because indeed, most wrong decisions made by companies, there are people behind, and these are the leaders. So when you are interviewing, first think about the business needs, the organization strategies, where we are headed, the person that would want to take us there, the person that would want to drive the agenda of the business. Is this the right person? Have you factored in that? You might be wowed by someone's eloquence during an interview and miss out on the ability to fit within the company culture.
So I believe, having interacted with different employers when it comes to recruitment and onboarding right from the interviewing stage, what are some of the tips that perhaps, or what advice would you give to employers or recruiters or hiring managers who are looking to improve their interviewing processes for them to be able to identify potential future leaders?
So for any organization, HR managers and recruiters out there who are looking to recruit or to interview candidates who might be considered for leadership roles in future, my advice would be three things to consider. Number one is look at their own track record. So here you're looking at how have they managed people, how have they managed strategy from their own background, the different roles they have served. How has this come out? So interview in a way that you can get deeper, make it more conversational, so that they're able to talk about their own experience and be on the lookout for how did they execute strategy, how was their decision making, how was their approach to dealing with their colleagues or their juniors in terms of just being in supervisory role or as a manager. Secondly, I will talk about your own strategy as a business. Where you are and where you see the business in the next 2-3 years. The person you're bringing in, will they be suitable for the business at that time? So don't just get wowed by the candidate before you, and you lose focus on where will the business be in the next 2-3 years when we will now require a manager to be promoted internally. And lastly is the aspect of people skills. Remember, this is someone who will be dealing with people when you promote them. Yes, there are operational issues, there is work to be done. but in between there are people involved, the junior employees, the direct reports. So when we're looking at people skills, here you're looking at how is their emotional intelligence? What is their temperament? What is their personality? So that you're not getting on board someone who has problems dealing with people. You're not bringing on board someone who will turn out to be toxic. Again, you also don't want to bring on board someone who will be too chilled that they can't even get work done. They're just indecisive. So at this point, I would recommend tests that enable you to discover their personality, their temperament, and there are quite a number that you can use available. At Corporate Staffing, we also have these tests that we do offer. So you can get in touch so that we advise. Among them, which one that is very key that comes on top of my mind is the DISC personality type, whereby D stands for dominance. So at this point, you're looking at someone who has the traits of being very assertive, being results-driven. You're looking at someone who is always focusing on getting things done. In terms of how they communicate, they are quite open, and they're not shy to even make communicate things that might not be very easy. For example, having difficult conversations with the employees. The I in the DISC is for influence. So people with this type of personality, they are commonly seen as extroverted people. They love discussions, they love talking, they enjoy discourse. So they also very easy to work with. So such people normally are very inspirational to the juniors. So the DISC test will just give you an idea of to what extent is this person dominant, what is their level of influence, for example, and then steadiness. Steadiness is actually for stability. You're looking at a person's demeanor being very calm, collected. They enjoy status quo. They run away from conflicts and the like. So you don't want to onboard someone if you see that the role will require someone to be very good at conflict management. And then lastly, the C is for conscientiousness, whereby here you're focusing on how is this person able to execute tasks. Of course, people with this type of personality, they tend to be perfectionists, therefore they will take longer to make decisions. Yes, they're very intellectual, but the self-doubt in them might just be the hindrance. So these tests will enable you to make the right decision, because sometimes in the interview you are not able to pick some of these inherent traits that come with the person. Yep.
So it is very important at the interviewing stage to really have a goal. The role that I'm interviewing for, am I interviewing for a future leader within the organization, or what are we looking at? What's the long-term goal for this position, the candidate that we are onboarding?
Perfect.
Great. And hiring is expensive, I believe, and we wouldn't want to make any mistake right from the interviewing stage, especially if we are interviewing for future leaders. Hence, the importance of really getting to know how best you can be able to improve our interviewing skills for future leaders within the organization. Corporate Staffing Services comes in handy to help you right from the onboarding stage to get it right with the job description, so that you're able to get a candidate whose profile matches exactly what you're looking for. And of course, it's always not about just competencies and performance. People management skills, just as Godfrey has elaborated, is equally very important. We encourage you to click on the link below just to be able to get more tips on how to navigate through the interviewing, recruitment, and onboarding processes. And feel free to share with us your experiences, how your journey has been with regards to this topic in the comment section, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.